I remember the first time I was settling Daniel in. I think I came late to pick him up. And the teacher was telling me that I am playing with my child's emotion. That my child is going to feel bad. I shouldn't play with his emotion. I was like, wow, really? Emotion? Where I'm coming from? Picking on again, emotion?
Emotion what?
Emo what? Hey, hello guys, welcome again to this awesome channel. So today we're doing something quite different, and as you can see, I have with me an amazing personality. This is Evelyn. Evelyn is a YouTuber based in Germany with her family, and she's got an awesome kid, a toddler, and she's wearing a lot of hats. She's a data scientist. She's running a master's program, and she's an awesome YouTuber. As I mentioned earlier, you can check her out after this video at Evelyn Olalikon. Yeah, at Evelyn Olalikon Election. So this video is about to go amazing, as we will be sharing our culture shocks as per kindergartens in Germany. So if in case you don't understand what I mean by kindergarten is something like crèche, or I don't know, for lack of better words, kindergarten. Yeah. And so since we landed Germany with our kids, we both have toddlers. We've been having some things that we are not usually familiar with. We've been seeing in their school curriculum, or okay, it's not called school, it is kindergarten. We've been seeing in the way the kindergarten is run here, and that is what we're about to share with you, our shocks. All right, guys, so if in case you're here for the first time, I'm Tolupa Demo, and on this channel we talk everything about motherhood, and I presently live in Germany with my family. You're welcome.
Thank you.
So welcome. So without further ado, let's go into the details of this video. Kids in kindergarten range from age 0 or 1 to 6. So kindergarten is not considered school. So what do they do in kindergarten? So Evelyn, please just share your experience. She's more experienced, and meanwhile, I forgot to mention she's been in Germany for about 6 years now, right? And I've been in Germany for about 2 years now. So she's my elder sister. You get what I'm saying? All right, so Evelyn,
Okay, so we wouldn't say that it's not considered school. It's still a type of education.
But not it's not school.
Like we're used to. There's no such thing as sitting down to start writing. That does not happen until the age of 6 when they move to primary school. However, they are taught a lot of things. They are taught how to interact with each other, how to play, how to dance, they go out to the playground to play, and they also learn music. They learn how to draw, how to do art, and
true. Just like she mentioned, most of the things they do is relates to their environment. They go to the garden. They learn to take care of themselves. Even as children, they are taught to survive independently. They train them on routines, and they are made to follow their routines by themselves. Not like the one we used to have that sit down there, all of that. Like, it's a kind of training, and I think it's quite interesting actually for me. And the fact that they don't even bug a child too early about 1, 2, 3, you have to know ABC. They're just all out playing. Like, someone was asking that, I'm teaching my child 1, 2, 3 and all that, and I'm like, no, that's not what they teach them in school. Although I try to teach my child at home, but that's just not it. So the person was like, so your children go to school and eat and sleep? But that's really it, and I think it's awesome to allow the children play and have fun while they're trying to discover themselves and discover the environment. Okay, so another shocker here for us is the admission process. Guys, kindergarten here is not something that you just sleep and wake up and say, I have all the money, I want my child in the kindergarten. Evelyn, please share your experience.
Okay, so I've had three experience with entering kitas. So the first one was when we had our son. That was it was when in 2020, and 2020 was in the middle of the pandemic, right? It was just at the beginning of pandemic. And then we all were working from home. My husband was working from home, and then we would carry him in the pouch to attend meetings and all that. So his boss saw him and was like, have you gotten a kita? I was like, no. It was like, okay, my wife recruits for a kita.
Awesome.
You can go there and see if they have space. Thank God for good bosses.
Wow. That is it. It's always about, sorry to cut you there, it's always about searching for kindergarten. It's always about you have to search thoroughly, and they would there are conditions to consider, and there are people that will be on the forefront of the list, or that will be more considered than the other, if in case the child has a sibling in the school already, and also if the school is in close proximity to the residence of the person, but even at that you just have to apply. You send your application via an email, then you wait for a response. That is how a child can be taken in a kindergarten. And it is just so interesting that in my own time I applied to I applied twice. The first one I applied to about 60 schools, and only 2 responded my mails. Like, that is how bad it can be. And you're allowed to come to the kindergarten, you check the kindergarten, and you're allowed to choose if you want the kindergarten for your daughter or for your child or not. If you don't, it's fine also, So it's just interesting. They take it seriously and with caution.
So when we had to move to our new place, we had to start searching for another teacher. So I searched and searched.
I'm sorry to say, the kindergarten must be close to it.
Yes, it has to be close. And even if it wasn't close, maybe I just couldn't do the commute. It was just too far. So I already knew where we're moving to. I started searching around the circumference of where we're going to move. All of them were bouncing me. I then went to Facebook. I had to go to Facebook. I started searching for kitas in Berlin. I didn't see, but I saw Kindertagespflege. Kindertagespflege
what does that mean?
Kindertagespflege is a smaller type of kitas where individuals get license from the government to have a small group in their home. For instance, if you have that license, you can have like maybe 10 kids, or I think 4 or 5 kids per individual. Maybe you and your husband, 10 kids can come, and then you teach them, and then maybe during the day you go out to child cinema, to playgrounds around. And I saw that, and the person was like, okay, they were going to take David, but it was still far.
Does the person have to be a teacher, like certified?
The person has
teacher
to be licensed
in Germany.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Just not anybody. Yes, it's not just anybody. You have to do like some courses or something like that.
I see.
So the family took us, and there were like few kids, about 8 or 10 kids when we went there, and all that. That was earlier.
And they are not the same age group. They are different. Age group.
Nice. There was even a 6-month or 9-month-old child to 6 years old.
And the person gets to take care of them.
Yes, husband and wife.
Husband and wife.
Yes.
Oh, awesome. And that was how you were able to solve that.
Yes. But we kept searching, and then all of a sudden, a kita contacted us to say, have we gotten his space?
Well, guys, it can be something else, the admission process. So moving on, our next culture shock here, as far kindergartens in Germany, is the fees, guys. The fees. It's just how exorbitantly people get to pay for their kids in other countries. At least I've heard of Canada. I know of Nigeria, maybe
the UK.
Maybe not okay. You've heard of the UK.
I know the expert. I have heard.
She's heard of the UK. But right here in Germany, you pay as low as 23 euro for your child at the kindergarten. It's so unbelievable. In fact, they should just better say we should not pay. Seriously. And it varies, right? It varies.
Yeah,
for my son's school, we are paying more than that, and the reason was stated because 55 euro is for food, the 2 meals it takes. And there's even a way that we can get an application from the government, or we can get a voucher from the government. Is it voucher? Or we can apply for something
it's a
voucher. Or it's usually a voucher that you apply for, and the government gets to pay even that, such that you now pay
depending on the family income.
Depending on the family income, there, that is very true. If you earn so high, you may not be given. But if the family earns so low, then that voucher you can be given. But as of now, I pay about 75 euro for my son at the kindergarten, and she pays
23.
She pays 23. I was 23. And I know a friend that pays 44.
Berlin, other states outside Berlin, they pay 800, 700.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you.
I've not heard of that before. Seriously.
I'm telling you.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That much? Why? Why is Berlin different?
We thank God.
I see something.
So, yeah.
Wow. So is that low? But as you've heard, in other places in Germany, it may not be that low. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Then you get what we call kita voucher. That kita voucher, you get it for the government to get to pay some of your fees, and also you get it for the maximum number of hours your child can stay in the kindergarten, depending on if both parents are working, because they just reason with you that you need more time to stay at work. And it's always between, is it 5 to 7 hours?
So if you're maybe not working, if one of the parents are not working, you get about, I think, 5 hours.
5 hours.
When you're working, or okay, for me now, when I applied, I was a student.
Okay.
So I applied for 7 hours. I could have applied for 9 hours. I'm like, no, it's just too small for 7 hours. So I got 7 hours. And now that I'm working part-time, I'm like, and he's already old.
Yeah.
3 years old. I'm like, please give me 9+ hours.
Oh, really? So you now have 9+ hours. I have 7 hours. And in my son's school, because of the KITA voucher I have, if I want extra hours, I have to pay.
Yeah.
And if I want longer hours, I can reapply to the government so that I can be given that. But what are the conditions? Stating that I'm working. Oh my God. So our next culture shock here in Germany, as per German kindergarten, is settling in phase.
Yeah.
You know the way you carry your kids to school and you say, or to crèche, and you say the child is crying, say bye and go. Sorry, you're not going. When you take your kid to a new school, like yourself and your husband, one of you have to stay and settle the child here for a period of 2 to 4 weeks, I guess. What was the experience like?
For us, at the first time when he was just starting, and it's graduated, when we got there 8:30, you stay with the child till 9, you go home. And then you stay with the child till 9:30, the following day you go home. Or it depends on how the child is able to adapt.
Yeah, it progresses as the child adapts to the school.
So after 2 weeks, we were doing between 8:30 to 10.
Oh, yeah.
And then we did 8:30 to 11. And then they'll say, drop the child, stay with the child for 30 minutes and go. Yeah. And then come back.
Come back.
So at the point that the child was now sleeping, because they sleep around 11:30 to
12.
So by the time the child was sleeping, that was like, you can start relief. And that could take between 4 to 5 weeks.
Yeah. So and in my case, I settled Daniel in 2 schools. They were not the settling in period. Okay, so I did the first settling in the first school. My husband did that of the second school, and it took a while. We were settling in for about 1 month. My husband has to go to the school, stay with him, and excuse for some minutes, just as you mentioned. Then we progressed. Then we could now leave him till 2. Then that time too will progress again. You can now leave him longer when he begins to sleep, like she mentioned, and when your child begins to eat. The settling in phase is just a phase that every parent must be ready for.
And for some kids it takes longer. Like there was a child we started together, and at the time David was already sleeping. Now I was coming speaking by 2. The mom was still staying there. Mine, I mean, the first experience I had, it wasn't funny. I had to stay a long time. I think about 1 month still, So for every kindergarten you take your child to, you have to do that. Yes, even the one we moved here, that David was almost 3 years old.
Same to me also.
We had to. And my mother-in-law was around then, and she'll be like, when did they say she come and pick him? 11. You just took him by 9. And it's like,
I think I spoke a lot about this, my experience, in one of my videos 1 year later in Germany and all of that. So let me not bore you with all that story. So, and I think this part where one of the parents must stay all through. You can't change parents. That was my home case. Yes,
you could not change.
You can't change. Wow. Like they just say it's safe for the child so that the child feels more comfortable. That when you're exchanging,
and it's confusing.
When you're exchanging with your partner, it can confuse the child. All right, guys. So it's just interesting to know that they really care about the emotion of the child. Like I remember the first time I was settling Daniel in. I think I came late to pick him up, and the teacher was telling me that I am playing with my child's emotion, that my child is gonna feel bad. I shouldn't play with his emotion. I was like, wow, really? Emotion? Where I'm coming from? Picking on again, emotion?
Emotion what?
Emo what?
But it's good, Sha. It's good. Like, you not start thinking differently. Like, okay.
So it wasn't like they were hungry, I came late. They were hungry and I was toying with his emotion. And she was like, he won't trust me again. When
wow.
What a wow. All right, moving on. Our next culture shock here has been the kindergarten routine. Their routine, guys. The routine makes sense. I think the children brush teeth. They brush their teeth. What again? They must go to the garden in a day, except if the weather is too bad. And when I mean too bad, it's not that when it is winter. Even at winter, they go out,
They get up and
they go out. But when it's too windy, they may stay. Or when it is raining, sometimes they will stay. You understand?
I really love the routine that they've taught them to have. Like she has said before, they teach them to be independent. They teach them how to pee themselves, how to stand up for themselves, how to say no, how to know what is theirs. Each child has their own locker and has their own name on it. So even when we take David to the guitar, my son's name is David, it's like that is David's Platz. Okay. So you want to see that in David's Platz, you would know that that's what they tell them when it's time for them to change maybe they are going to the kindergarten. Each of them sit down in their own Platz, their own place where they wear their jackets and their shoes. And all of that. So
it's so interesting. Like I think I captured it in one of the videos I made. Like in all those high school movies we used to see. You have your locker, you have your items, you know, and you have your toothbrush stand in the bedroom, you know, where they brush their teeth. And like we mentioned also, they learn to follow their routine. They teach them their routine to an extent that they now begin to know what is next. What is next. You know, and I see them go to the playground. They make them cross the traffic light. Yes. They make them enter buses.
Yeah. Does your kita has playground in the compound, or they have to go?
Okay. Yeah, they don't have in the compound. They have to go to. So they go to different playgrounds. And playgrounds are many in Germany, guys. Germany is just friendly to kids. Let me just put it that way. A lot of playgrounds. I mean, for free. Children, almost every time you find them at the
And before we proceed, for sleeping, for some kids like mine, they don't really like to sleep in the afternoon, but they have to be quiet.
Yes, like they told me that older kids may not sleep, but that time they use it to, you know,
calm down
and just be quiet. For kindergarten in this wise, because of the routine, they ask you to bring a lot of things. They ask you to bring raincoats. They ask you to bring boots, indoor shoes, house shoes, your toothbrush, quite a number of things. Yeah, and even for the food, to some kindergarten here permits that a parent brings the morning food, the kind of food that
breakfast
they eat together. And some schools, the school provides. In fact, most schools, my kids' school, the school provides all the meals. They, you know,
for us, we take breakfast and then they give him lunch.
Oh, awesome. So moving on, our next culture shock here, as per kindergartens in Germany, is their mode of learning. I think we already mentioned this somehow in the beginning. Yeah, that they are not directed up and down, you know. They are taught to be independent and, you know, figure out things themselves.
And they read stories to them. They have books that they read to them, show them things, they can identify things.
Yeah, and which is really very beautiful. And so I think the last thing we want to talk about here, or want to emphasize on, is that Germany is quite friendly to kids. Like their playgrounds, as if they are supposed to come and be playing. And as parents, you see parents most times at the playground, there are many. You know, like it was a culture shock for me.
You know that's also indirectly so good to children, because when you have kids, there are a lot of energy. And so when they go
need
to
a place
like
for
like yesterday I went to work and I came back and my husband said I was so tired. So what he did after he finished work, he just bundled David. Wear your shoe. Let's go. So I was able to have like 1 hour to myself. You understand? When David came back, I was like, I want to sleep. Very good.
Did you see that?
So he had the shower, and in 30 minutes, 1 hour max, it was off.
In Nigeria, when you take your child to the playground, it's like you're cruising.
Luxury.
But it's necessity. In fact, not even during summer. During summer, and children have many engaging things. I went to a place with a friend with her kids, and they made it sort of like a swimming pool, but it is walked in water, tap water, and the children is so lively and interesting and so nice, guys. So that's just it. I don't know if you want to say something about that.
I'm so grateful that we live in a terrain where it's supported to not only children, people with family. Because apart from that, like if your child is sick, you can always give sick notes to your employer, and your employer will support you to like stay home or like reduce work and all that.
I'm sorry to cut you there. Even for fathers, you can take paternity leave. I mean, I just love that the environment, just as you mentioned, is so friendly to people who have families, you know, and is quite interesting, you know. And most of these kitas, when your kid is down with catarrh,
any infection or whatever,
any flu, you don't bring your child to the kindergarten.
Yeah,
you sign it in the contract. You don't bring your child to the kindergarten.
And if you do, then you're gonna get a call to come and pick your child.
Yes, it is not allowed. And that way, I think that they've been able to regulate it and prevent the spread of all this flu, and it makes the kindergarten safe for children. And most kindergarten here are neat. And it's just even good that you can first inspect a kindergarten and say if you want it for your kid or not. And you don't, or you do.
And parents are really, really involved. Parents are really involved. We have out in our bed, you have parents' evening where you share, I don't like this, I like this at the beginning of every session or something like that. Yeah, and parents like voice out. It's not like in Nigeria where you
voice
accept
out
everything that they give you. In this place, they do normally complain.
Yeah.
You understand?
They don't normally complain. Yeah.
So you say, I don't like this.
Yeah.
My child brought in a sweater that's not mine.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Or something is missing, or you treated my child wrongly. I don't want
because
it.
From where you're coming from, when you see this type of thing, you're like, we can
Leave
overlook it. They don't overlook it.
Because they won't even overlook if you do, I think I like German for it. They are on point, like precise. This is it, and that kind of relation. So they expect you even to talk if there's something they do not.
Because these two they will also talk.
They will also talk, and I love that parents are much involved. Like we had the last PTA meeting with parents, and you need to see how attentive parents are. Parents were complete and taking notes, and
and the thing that you're talking about, you're like, why did your child bite my child? What should we do? I'm like, Kini Bobo.
And they give report of what's going on with your child so far. We just received our own report recently. So they give you report. Like, parents are well informed and involved, and which is beautiful, really, guys. Okay, guys, I don't know if we've omitted some things or if there are things you still want to hear that we've not mentioned. And I would just appease those of us that are already in Germany and are familiar with these culture shocks we just mentioned. Please feel free to add yours, and so that people can be more engaged and see also more points that we're not able to mention. And if you want to see more of this type of videos, let us know in the comments.
We're also shooting a video together next. So I want to see that too.
Yeah, and if you have questions also, put it down in the comment section. And guys, don't forget to check out my very awesome guest here. She's so incredible. You need to check out her channel. And so guys, thanks for your time. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned one or two from this video. And until we see you in my next video.
Ciao,
bye.
ciao. Bye.
Choose.
Choose.